I am Leo, aka That Ghost Artist. Let's make some art. I guess review art. Sorry, I'm kind of workshopping the intro a little bit. But I wanted to go over GhostTober 2025, as well as some past drawings I have in the sketchbook. So let's jump in. So I started this sketchbook in 2021. I think this was my, I want to say, second Inktober that I did, and before I had done it on just a falling apart sketchbook, so all the papers were loose, so I wanted to go somewhat easier. So I will just flip through this quickly. This is all Inktober 2021. I believe I finished this. Loki fan art, fairy tale fan art. I need to redraw these sometime. Sailor Moon. Yeah. Here's the 25. Yeah. So this drawing will be redrawn in GhostTober 2025, so we'll be able to see the progress. So I did finish 2021's Inktober, and then I did 2022. I don't think I finished this one though. This is one of my OCs, and then she's part of the Seven Deadliest and represents the Sin of Lust. I want to say I named her Amora, but I don't remember exactly. I haven't touched that story in a bit. But yeah, so I have through day 6 here, and then day 8 I did Kanashi's family. Carmen looks similar, Maui looks similar, Tommy looks similar. Yerbus is not here. There's Kanashi. He looks similar. This character I scrapped. It was going to be like the oldest sibling, but I ended up scrapping him. Titania, Mercy, and Bernard. And then you can see I just kind of started falling off here. And then by day 23 I stopped. I think this was supposed to be Ume's eye too, and I didn't. Okay, whatever. On to GhostTober 2025, so coming back to the sketchbook 3 years later. So day 1 was fire, and I initially wanted to go all out, so you can see like I did like detailed hatching and like everything, and then I did not do that because this took I think like 3 or 4 hours to do in total. But yeah, so this scene, this is day 1 fire. This is my OC Kanashi, who you saw just recently, actually. Yeah, right here. So, upgrade. And then Karasus, this is a scene that happens in Sacrificium, which is my original story that these two are from, where Karasu is tortured by Kanashi's older brother, Yerbus. And then he saves her, and it's like part of his redemption arc thing. Yeah, so we have that. And then yeah, I tried something new for day 2. This was body horror, so I was partially inspired by Daisy from Magnus Archives in season 4, or the end of season 4. But I decided to, that was my knee, do all mouths, and I don't know if you can tell, but I do have some subtle hatching on the clothes. Again, I will fall off with this as college wears me down. Day 3 is Hunter. I drew a young Gertrude Robinson from Magnus Archives. This pose was so hard to do. Oh my god, it took forever to get this down, but once I actually got like the base sketch down, inking over was so easy. Day 4 is Feed Your Girlfriend. So these are my OCs, my vampire and my ghost. I did not intend to make this suggestive, but I texted a friend of mine and I was like, is this suggestive? I'm looking back on it now and it might be. And he said, yes. So, oops. But I like it anyhow. You can actually buy this on my RedBubble Shop. Quick plug there. Day 5 Spiraling. This is my Magnus Archives OC Nick Shelley, not related to Michael. Named after my favorite horror author, Mary Shelley. Clearing that up. But like, oh, what if they got trapped in the spiral? Because they are marked by the spiral and eye. And then in the apocalypse, they are transformed into an avatar of the spiral with heavy eye themes. But yeah, they worked as a librarian for the Institute for a good while, starting with Gertrude and then through like season 3 of the Magnus Archives. Day 6, No Longer Human. This, again, just heavily inspired by the Magnus Archives, but just kind of like a doodle. As you can see, like, I'm slowly falling off. Day 7, Creation. I had to do Frankenstein fan art. I love Frankenstein. Yeah, so I did Birth to My Creation from the musical, and then just drew Victor asleep working on the creature. I also made this thread kind of look like an umbilical cord, like he's giving birth. I was heavily inspired by Knights of Guinevere for this. If you know, you know. Day 8, because I actually wrote day 7 in my sketchbook, and I had to redo all my posts because I put it in day 7 too. Day 8 was web, so I drew Annabelle Kane from the Magnus Archives. Fun fact, I actually cosplayed her for Halloween this year. Day 9 was ribs. I did John's desk from the Magnus Archives, so he has his rib here, the smiling apple, and then parentheses ashes. This one, I did get in more detail work, but it was really fun to do. This one, I did a lot of detail work on. Also, the Her Song for day 10. This was a song from my childhood. That I found later, like the different lyrics of it, and I still love it. Yeah, great song. Day 11, Uncanny. I did Nikola Orshinov from the Magnus Archives for this one. Nikola Orshinov. I cannot say her name today. Oh my god. Just a doodle portrait. This was a day I had to go quicker. This was also a day where I had to go quickly. Actually, what is that standing? I have no idea what the standing is. Interesting. Day 12 was R.I.P. So I did kind of like something inspired by the Ballad of Jane Doe from Ride the Cyclone. Yeah, this was also a day where I had to go kind of quick. Day 13 was Bones, Bones, Bones. So I drew my OC Karasu from... Fuck no. Why did I say Karasu? Oh my god. Carise from Time to Get Scared. She's the death of the universe. With the lyrics of Will Wood's Bones, Bones, Bones surrounding her. And then I tried to detail her skeleton arm heavily, and then the skull here. I haven't decided, this is part of her. I haven't decided if this is a mask or not, but we will see. Day 14 is Time, so I drew my Ghost and Vampire OCs again with, Will You Fall in Love With Me Again from Epic. The lyrics surrounding them, because they're like, and this was me like concepting the plot, but they're basically reincarnated soulmates, so they're like trying to fight fate to stay together, as you can see. Death to a Vampire, The Human Dying, etc. Together Forever, Hannibal fan art. I finished season 2 around this time, and I had to draw them. For some reason, both Mads Mikkelsen and Hugh Dancy came really easy to me, but this will not remain the case for Mads Mikkelsen in the sketchbook. You will see him again, and it took forever. But yeah, surprisingly this came easy for me, except like this part here, which I had to redo, but otherwise I really like this one. Actually, I think you can buy this on my RedBubble Shop too, if I remember correctly. This is the start of Hear No Evil, See No Evil stuff. So when I first started my Instagram account, I did something like this with my persona, so I decided to redraw this with my current persona, Leon, their demon from Sacrificium. Hear No Evil, See No Evil. I was sick. I was like struggling with RedBubble, but also sick both these days, and then later when I attempted it, I was sick again. So yeah, not very fun. This one you can find on my RedBubble Shop. This is Bloodbath for day 18. I decided to do the Member Club statement from the Magnus Archive, so I did like a little logo and everything, with the dates and all. Day 19 was Slasher. This is my OC Mercy, who 2 years ago I drew her. I redesigned her for an event on Instagram. Yeah. So she's telling you to beg for mercy, like her name. Jesus. That's the pun. This was the day I was sick. This was the day I was sick. I remember. I was struggling with art block a little bit, so that's like what this day I was sick, and you can tell it's like super long. But you can see me coming down and stuff here with ICU. Like the pose looks okay, but it's supposed to be Jonah Magnus from the Magnus Archives. It doesn't look like him or how I designed him. Not too happy. This was the day I was sick, and you can tell like these eyes are so freaking wonky. Oh my god. The hand, yeah, not good. Started experimenting more to fight art block. Sorry, there's just a random bug in my room flying around. It's fine. So the day 22 was the deep, so like inspired by the Jaws poster, but also I got a color changing pen. Not color changing. One of the pens where you can change the colors on, so I swatched and then did this. Day 23, Meet and Smeet. I did Hannibal. Guys, I struggled so hard. There were like 15 sticky notes here. Just like me trying to draw Mads Mikkelsen's face because for some reason I could not get it. I'm still not entirely happy with it. It definitely does not look as good as how I first drew him. Would have been right here. Like, what the hell? What the actual hell? But this one is available on my RedBubble Shop, slightly edited, so it does look, but it's fine. Day 24 is See No Evil. I mean, I'm happy about this one, not much to say. Day 25 is fan art. I decided to reboot the Genetic Opera, which I got into last year. Blind Mag is my absolute favorite character, so I decided to do her. I'm really happy with this one, actually. Day 26 is Vampires, so I drew Carmilla. I didn't want to draw my Vampire OC again, just because I had drawn her twice already, so decided to do Carmilla, the OG lesbian vampires. Day 27 is Heart, so I drew the Telltale Heart. I'm actually really proud of this one. This might be one of my favorites from the event. Just really happy with the perspective and how the heart turned out. That's his favorite. Day 28 is Nevermore, so I drew the Raven from... day 28 is Raven, so I drew a raven saying Nevermore from the Poe poem, The Raven. This is available on my RedBubble Shop, I know that for sure. Day 29 was Ghost, so I redrew one of my first drawings on my Instagram account of my OC/mascot Bernard as a human. His face looks wonky, but I think otherwise I like him. His face is just really wonky for some reason. Day 30 was Angel, so of course my OC Ume had to make an appearance. I drew this last year, hated it. I drew it digitally, because I was doing the challenge digitally with full illustrations. Don't do that to yourself. It's not good. I swear this specific concept must have a curse or something, because I could not get her face right, and it still looks pretty wonky. The lyrics are, Hell's Coming With Me by Poor Man's Poison, which fits so well. And then day 31, it's over, is Free Day, so I decided to redraw, you just saw it, Old Flame from 2021. Besides his fucked up leg, you ignore that. I think we made some improvements. Old Flame was a story song by Betty Buckley that I discovered early 2020, and like it was still eating my brain in 2021, and even now, like I listened to it on loop for drawing this, and it just great song, highly recommend. And yeah, that's it. You have room for plenty of new Inktober and GhostTober challenges. The main goal of this challenge was to improve my inking, just because I've been doing more traditional art and I feel like a little sloppy. I think I did okay. Like, But yeah, I'm pretty happy with all these. My least favorite, I think it's probably because it just looks so shitty. But also, Bernard's face is throwing me off, and then of course, the one I struggled on, like, cannibal here. This is on my shop because I think it's a cool concept. I did do a little person in here, but his face is just throwing me off. Oh god. Favorites in here, Bones. Well, actually, let's start. This one, because I really like the perspective. This one, just because I think it's a funny coincidence what happened with that. Bones is definitely a favorite, as well as Together Forever. And then these two, I love these two so much. I'm so proud of my line work on these. We don't talk about those. Fan art's a pretty good one, and then Heart, and of course Old Friend. But yeah, I had a ton of fun this year doing GhostTober. There were quite a few cool people who found my challenge and followed along with me, drawing all these prompts on Instagram. You can check out my Instagram highlight for that. Highly recommend checking out all the amazing art that was created this year. I started this as a challenge for myself because I just haven't been a fan of the Inktober prompts recently, and I was really surprised when a bunch of people actually started participating, so thank you to all of those who did. You can find their prompt list on Instagram as well, if you just want to check it out. Other things. Check out my RedBubble Shop. I keep plugging it here, but please, I'm a poor artist and I need money. Ghost Artist art on RedBubble. It will also be linked in the description of this video. And your support is highly appreciated. I also have commissions open on VGen, under at thatghostartist. They're 25% off right now. Cheapest commission you can get is $1.50 USD. Please, again, poor artists trying to make their way through college. Any help is very much appreciated. Any support is appreciated. Of socials, if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and here of course on YouTube as that_ghost_artist. I'm also just randomly that ghost artist on most platforms: ArtFol, Cara, Unvale. I'm the Anxious Ghost Artist on Tumblr, so if you like the Magnus Protocol, the Magnus Archives, follow me there because I do a lot of fandom related stuff for that, as well as breakdowns for every protocol episode that comes out, and like my theories and stuff. So follow me there. That will start up again when protocol gets off break. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Doing the YouTuber thing and telling you to click all those buttons down there. Subscribe if you want to see more. I post extremely inconsistently, but I'm going to try to do more videos, especially after winter break is over. I have a darkroom binder and a couple class sketchbooks that if you want to see them, let me know. I'm also working on a video of IBIS paint tips, that's my painting process. So yeah, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay hydrated, and wear your seatbelt.